receivers in the game.
Another deep drop. Siemian. He's going to take off. We're going to see him run. Rushes forward to the 29-yard line. Luke Kuechly made the stop on the guy who played at Northwestern, had a phenomenal game against Notre Dame. You were there, Chris, and then the next week at Purdue tore up his ACL.
Isn't it amazing? Your best moment followed by your worst, but he really was thinking that he was just going to go get a job, you know. He'd already sent out some applications. He said, yeah, you know, I'm splitting time at quarterback at Northwestern. I'd love to play. I'm in rehab. Is anybody really going to take me? And the Broncos drafted him in the 7th round, and look where he is now.
And he's going to go into commercial real estate to make the team. Anderson being one. His father's a surgeon, Dr. Walter Siemian. In fact, his folks are here tonight. Mom, Colleen, there they are. Dr. Siemian, Colleen.
They've been in a few pressure situations. Mom's an emergency room nurse as well, so they don't look too nervous. No. Trevor doesn't look too nervous. I don't know why anybody was too nervous.
Where he gets it from.
Of course, you don't get any gold stars for moving it between the 20s, right? You got to start scoring some points here, too.
And you can't turn the ball over. That's been the problem. Twice thus far. They give it to the fullback, and Chanovich's first carry in the National Football League is a touchdown. Gary Kubiak has to be laughing to himself. This is what he loves to do. This is what he wanted to do. He couldn't do it with Peyton Manning last year, but it's his ball club now, and the fullback scores.
Watch Benet Benwickery. He said there's no way.
11 for 17 for 111 yards. He's rushed for 36 in the touchdown. Benjamin has 4 receptions. Greg Olsen has 4. Trevor Siemian, a lot of questions coming in. How did he answer the questions?
I'll tell you what, he impressed me. Not one thing that Carolina did fool him. He was ready for the blitzes. He was poised in the pocket. Here's a 3rd down play where he scrambles around, makes something happen, Rodney.
But what I love about him, coach, is recognizing the blitz, getting outside the pocket, and keeping his vision down the field and going to his hot route. His teammates talked about his poise and his command of the offense. This is why they like this kid.
He showed it.
8 for 12, 92 yards. Did have the deflection for the interception. Chris Collinsworth talked about it during the game, his quickness, his ability to get rid of that ball, and he's needed that in the first half. As far as...
And one Peyton Manning walked off the field, Super Bowl 50. I didn't even recognize you without a robe. What are you doing all dressed up?
I know, this is, I usually sleep in till noon, wear the robe, and this is an early morning for me.
Give Eli a call, and Siemian back to pass. Beautiful. Caught at the 36, and up to the 43 goes to Marius Thomas. Your thoughts about what you've seen from Siemian so far in the first half?
I think he's done well. I think he's hung in there tough. Got a tip ball, which I've always thought should be legal. Like, ought to be banned like pine tar in baseball. You know, tip ball interceptions, and you know, had a fumble, but he's hung in there tough. You know, first start, good throw right there. So
just hits that back foot and lets it go.
That's right. That's right. He can make all the throws. Didn't have the ball in the whole second quarter. So
start. Well, Siemian, and we went through the chronology before. I mean, you've got Osweiler, looks like he's going to be the guy when Manning retires, but then he takes the money and runs. So John Elway has to bring in Mark Sanchez. He looks like he's going to be the guy to kind of run, you know, the offense for a while, experienced and all that. They move up in the draft to get Paxton Lynch, who probably is the guy of the future. And then Simeon's kind of like this other guy who was hanging around last year, and he wins the job. But it was a meritocracy during training camp. He won it.
No doubt.
And the second half, the numbers through the first 30 minutes of competition. One time he was sacked was Siemian. One time he was picked, came through a touchdown pass. And meanwhile, here in the second half, Newton is 1 out of 5, and Siemian is 10 out of 13.
And really, Newton hasn't done much at all since he got doubled over and hurt his leg, took a shot to the head.
A.J. Johnson's the snapper, Andy Lee is the holder, and Gano from 50.
Through the bottom of the snap. He'll get another chance.
And the
could talk about a lot of guys, but that young man right there, Trevor Siemian, came in and did it.
It mattered, and Denver holds on to win 21-20. We will quickly get to the game balls, and those players will have their faces alongside the NBC Sunday Night Football bus, and those players are Trevor Siemian, who was 18 for 26 for 178 and a touchdown, C.J. Anderson, who carried 20 times for 92 yards and a TD and also caught 4 passes, and DeMarcus Ware, who had 1.5 sacks, and the 9-time Pro Bowler joined C.J. Anderson and Trevor Siemian along the sidelines with Michelle.
All right, well, Trevor, first I got to ask you, as you saw that field goal kick go up, what were you thinking?
Unbelievable. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this business. I learned that last year. It's a great win. Good to be a part of.
Good to be a part of. You are described as poised, calm, and collected, and you faced a lot of adversity in this game. What do you think got you through that?
Teammates. I mean, we got a great huddle in there. Got a lot of guys to lean on. CJ led the way all day, and the guys up front did a heck of a job.
I know Peyton Manning called you last night. What did he say?
Just shooting the breeze, not too much, but Peyton's a good friend of mine, and really thankful for all he's done for me.
Congratulations, you're 1-0.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Well, let's turn to CJ, who just had 2 touchdowns tonight, 1 receiving, 1 rushing against a really good defense. Why were you so productive?
I never try to do anything outside the system, you know? I just try to do everything I can within the system and just pick my spot and make my plays, and I did that tonight.
A lot of people got to know Trevor Siemian tonight. What did you guys learn about your young quarterback?
He's just as poised and calm as we always said. If you would have told us that we were going to turn over the ball 3 times against a very good defense and still come out with a win, nobody would have believed it. But he was still poised. He still made some plays, made some throws when we needed. And that's the guy you like. That's who you want to play for.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Joined now by Tony and Rodney. Dan is already headed back east to host the Dan Patrick Show tomorrow morning on NBCSN. They'll have plenty to talk about. We have only enough time to talk about one thing and one person, and that's Trevor Siemian.
Well, Gary Kubiak and the whole Denver organization has to be excited about this. Yeah, they're glad they won the game, but the things they thought about Trevor Siemian, that he was poised, he was accurate, he was athletic, they saw that in the game, and the game's not too big for him. You saw how excited C.J. Anderson was. They thought that, now they know what they've got.
And the thing that really impressed me about him, Coach, was his athletic ability. Being able to get outside that pocket, remaining calm under pressure, and delivering the ball. I was really impressed by him.
So, Rodney, even though it's only one game, your mind has been changed about Trevor Siemian, at least to some extent.
Well, Bob, it's not just one game. I mean, this is kind of the playoff atmosphere. This is kind of similar to the Super Bowl, just a notch under that. This is a big-time game with a lot of pressure. He's never even thrown an NFL football.
The moment was not too big for him, and that's what they have to be excited about.
No, it wasn't. Okay, so the Broncos open 1-0 with a 1-point win over the Panthers. Allen